So today we're talking about the new rebirthable unit, Medusa. She is currently in the rebirth pool, but I would recommend holding off if you are going for Venus until Light Bond does show up in there. It's not totally confirmed yet if Light Bond will be rebirthable, but it's almost for sure since that's how the dark chocolate dude was rebirthed, so yeah. Would recommend waiting on rebirth. How I usually do with the rebirthable units is quickly go through the fire, water, and wood ones because it's typically the light and dark ones that are the really interesting ones. The most interesting, they're the natural 4 stars, so they'll have better stats and they'll typically have better skills as well. Regardless, we're taking a look at the fire one first. It just has Petrify in both 3 and 5 star skill. 1 turn, not very good to be honest. Petrify is already not a very good skill. You can use it like Sleep and just use it last and not attack them anymore because they will have increased defense. So Petrify isn't really that great, and it really can only be used in League and versus other Astromons also. So as far as its versatility goes, it's also not that great. So Fire one I would write off pretty much immediately. It is a tank though, so look at its 6-star stats. Okay stats, I guess. Lots of HP since it is a tank, obviously. Would just go HP defense on it for better survivability to get those debuffs off, but honestly not putting too much thought in it because it's not a very good Astromon. Water one next, also not looking that great with Sleep and Thirst. Thirst is a little bit better, but then it's only 60% chance, 10% for 1 turn. So it's like the weakest Thirst possible, to be honest. And Sleep also isn't that great, 80% chance, should be 100 probably on something like Sleep. I think one of the other units got bumped up to 100% and they don't need a critical anymore, but whatever. Sleep is okay when you're controlling your own units, but again, really only good for Astromon League. She's a balanced type and I would gem her as such with attack, defense, and HP. Maybe like with the fire one, go HP defense if you just want her for the debuffs and not really to do much damage. But whatever, we're going to be moving on to the wood one now. Wood one looking a little bit better. It's probably the best out of the fire, water, and wood types. 60% chance for sap for 3 turns. It's a decently strong sap for a 3-star skill, to be honest. Chance isn't so high, but it is for 3 turns when it does land. And then we have the new blind skill. It's only 1 turn, 60% chance on the active, so that is quite weak. But if you want a decent sapper, the 3-star skill is quite nice. She is a defender, has pretty high natural defense, so I'd probably go defense HP on her instead of HP defense. I heard survivability wise for defenders, it is pretty close to how everyone else has the most effective HP with HP defense. But typically with defenders and especially defenders with higher natural defense, I like to go defense HP for their survivability. Okay, so now we're moving on to like the actual review now. Going to go a little bit more in depth into the light and dark ones. So the light one is typically the one people are going for. Again, has the most use in Astromon League with her skills, but pretty damn good in Astromon League. 100% chance to stun on a critical hit, so that is always pretty good. You just get that crit rate high and it'll be like the natural 5 stars that can get the stuns off at 100% chance. And then we have one of the newer, not the new but newer skills, Elemental Edge. Critical hits against any enemy that are treated as that enemy's elemental weakness. And I find that quite awesome on the active skill because it'll be hitting every single enemy as it would be their weakness. So it's essentially just a 50% damage buff, unless you're hitting a dark type, because then I guess it wouldn't really count there. Of course, the 5-star skill also does need a critical hit to activate, so naturally you want to get her probably to actually 100%, no lower than like 95, I would say, because both of her skills actually need crit to work, so crit is extremely important for her. Gem-wise, she is an attacker. Typically with light attackers, I'm going on the Ruin set because it's a little bit easier with substats to get up to 100% because of their natural 20% crit rate. And so you really have 2 options on the Ruin set, and that's crit rate, attack, HP, which is kind of the one I recommend to give them a little bit of survivability so they can take 1 or 2 hits before they die. But if you would just want to go full glass, which is another option, just crit rate, attack, and she'll do a ton more damage, but you have to take a lot of care when you're around dark types. Looking at her 6-star Evo 3 stats, yeah, a good chunk of attack there. Decent defense, actually, pretty good HP for an attacker. All around, pretty solid stats. Here is her variant form. Again, going to the whitish sort of blue stuff. It's actually pretty cool. So, but anyway, we're going to be moving on to the dark one. I don't think the dark one is as good, but I think it's still okay. We have blind on the 3-star skill and attack down. Average chance to proc and average turns for stuff like this, 60% 2 turns, 60% 2 turns. So it's nothing impressive, but it does have the new blind skill, and she is one of the only units that has it on the 3-star skill, so it's something. I think there is one unit with 100% chance for 1 turn. I think it was one of the Nezhas, actually, the light Nezha maybe. And then attack down is very useful for Titans because we are lacking a lot of units with attack down. All around, I would definitely recommend going for the light one if you're able to pull one. Dark one definitely isn't bad. Looking at her 6-star Evo 3 stats, of course, attack unfortunately is going to be very, very low. HP is high though, as a tank of course, and defense is pretty high as well. So it's kind of a shame because, you know, dark types will have that natural 100% crit damage, so usually I try and capitalize on that by giving them a crit rate gem, so when they do attack they'll do twice their damage with that 100% crit damage. But with her I'm not really sure it's worth it because she's a tank, she has low natural attack power. Even giving her an attack gem, maybe 2 attack gems, I'm not sure if it'd get high enough to really make it worth it. And then basically she's just a pure debuffer anyway, so it doesn't really make sense. If I were to build one, I'd probably gem her HP defense, just like how you gem units which you want the most survivability for. And in her case, since she is a pure debuffer and a tank, that's probably what I'd go for. But yeah, that's about it for the Medusa review. I know it was pretty short. That's probably because we skipped through 3 of them. Oh wait, I forgot her variant form. That actually, yeah, okay. When you switch back and forth, it looks like it changes a lot, but when you look at it at first, it doesn't look like it changes that much. Well, it still doesn't change that much. But yeah, that'll do it for today's video. Tell me what you think about the Medusas down in the comments below, which one you're going for, and if you've summoned any yet, done any rebirths yet, even though you probably should wait for Lightbond if you're going for it, but whatever, just my little advice there. But yeah, make sure to leave that down in the comments below. Also make sure to drop a like if you did enjoy. I would really appreciate it. Thanks, as always, for watching, and until next time.